So a while back, I did a video showcasing the way that the Akai TimbreWolf sounds through the Danelectro Spring King. And in that video, I showcased a 4-part sequence. But at the end of that video, I suggested that I would come back and do another with chords. That was quite a while back, and today I got a comment on one of my punk clocks from a drummer asking how I felt about the Spring King as it applied to drum sounds. Particularly, he was wondering if you could get the sound of a drippy sort of snare that guys like Lee Perry made famous. Unfortunately, I don't think that's really quite possible with this effects unit. Perhaps that's caused at least partially by the fact that it's got that PT2399 chip in it. Or maybe the spring's not long enough, I'm not quite sure. Overall, I would say that this unit isn't the best spring reverb I've ever heard, but I don't regret buying it. But in any case, his question reminded me that I was supposed to do another TimbreWolf Spring King video with some chords. And furthermore, it inspired me to showcase some drum sounds through the Spring King as well. So that's what's going on here today, kiddies. Here's a 4-voice chord composed of only square waves with the filter wide open, no resonance, no envelope to filter, and full decay. Now let's bring in a bit of reverb. All the settings are at 9 o'clock. And now noon. Three o'clock. And finally, full bore. Now for the sake of clarity, let's back off the decay a bit. Now even less decay. And finally, no decay at all. Now I'll back off the reverb. 3 o'clock. Noon. Nine. And finally dry. Now let's switch over to some sawtooth. Starting out dry. Bringing in the reverb at 9 o'clock. And now at noon. Three. And full bore. And now let's bring in the decay. 9 o'clock. And noon. Three o'clock. And now with full decay. And you'll notice in the case of the TimbreWolf that decay acts more like release would in a standard ADSR envelope. Now I'll play some sawtooth chords with backed off reverb, starting at 3 o'clock. And noon. Nine o'clock. and now completely dry. Now I'll reduce the decay. 3 o'clock. And at noon. And finally 9 o'clock. And now with no decay at all. Let's add some reverb. 9. Chicken heads at noon. And now at 3 o'clock. Let's go full bore. And there's what some chords sound like running through the Dan Electro Spring King.